Rock my soul and we're mining the neighborhood. Rock my soul and we're mining the neighborhood. Rock my soul and we're mining the neighborhood. Oh, rock my soul, keep singing. Les Webster and he's mining the neighborhood. Larry, the agate guy, is mining the neighborhood. B. Fletcher and he's mining the neighborhood. Oh, rock my soul, keep singing. You know, I got into rocks because my mom was obsessed with heart-shaped rocks. And we're still working on it. Several other things I am so excited to share with you today. My friend Les Webster, who has stopped by here several times, each time he gives me a little time with explaining what he's dropping off, and he is a specialist in copper carbonates, which includes Chrysocola and Malachite and things that sort of patina into a green thing. These are raw minerals. We have quite a great selection from $10 up to $100, with many things between $20 and $60. I really hope you will stop by and get yourself a piece of the Les Webster collection. Take it away, Les.
That's amethyst.
So Arizona?
Amethyst when it sits out in the desert for a period of time will fade. So you can see the purple here. This used to all be purple, but this fades to a yellowish or grayish color.
Yeah.
Huh. And so that's why it looks like that. Now, if you crack that open, you'd get a whole bunch of fresh amethyst inside, of course, but you don't want to do that because it's a big specimen by itself. And each of these individual crystals are just quartz crystals, but quartz comes in purple and yellow and a whole bunch of what an Arizona agate looks like quite often. Most of them are white, although they have a bunch of different colors down there. But this is kind of like a seam agate, or what they call a seam agate up here. With these were fissures in the rock that filled over time with the chalcedony, which is what agate is.
Wow. Oh, I see. Yep.
These are cool because they're a matrix. It's got, you can call that gold, but I think it's actually pyrite or chalcopyrite, one of the two, with quartz, tenorite, and the
What's the tenorite? The white or the red?
The tenorite is the gray.
In the gray.
Or I mean the rusty color stuff.
Yeah.
And there might even be some iron compound in there too. I don't know.
So a really fine mineral specimen.
This is the coolest
mixed
one
with
here.
Wow.
You see how neat the gold shows, and this black is definitely tenorite in this one.
Tenorite, huh? That's a new mineral for me.
And the white is quartz.
Where did these come from?
These all came from Arizona because that's where I collected them, and specifically an old ghost town called Helvetia, which was a copper mining district it's east of Tucson, about 20 miles or so, is where I found most of these.
Wow.
Cool. And some of them, like even some of the smaller ones are real pretty.
So what's the green again?
The green...
Chrysocola?
Well, the green... Chrysocola and Malachite are what all of these are. But Malachite is a darker color typically, and the Chrysocola is a light green, electric blue color or a much lighter blue. So oftentimes they're both copper derivatives. And the way these get colored is superheated steam comes up from underneath the ground and carries with it the minerals, and then they get deposited, and that's why they get these colors. But most of them contain, like this one, the darker green here would be Malachite, and the lighter blue would be
sunlight
Chrysocola.
Affect those?
No, not at all.
Really? I can put Chrysocola in the sun?
Yep. Yeah, this won't.
That's so exciting. Malachite too?
Malachite too. The only thing will happen if you put these outside is that beautiful gold over time might
turn yellow.
Tarnish.
Yeah. Tarnish?
So it might get to where it doesn't shine like it does anymore. If it's inside, it obviously will not be subject to moisture and stuff.
That's fun. So that's some wonderful new things here again today, and we were just talking about this.
So this rock, this was the outside of the rock that was exposed to the desert over many years, and it gets coated with iron oxide, and that's why the quartz crystals turn a rust color. While after I cracked the rock open, you can see the quartz crystals on the inside are still the fresh white color. And there's some hematite in there that's the sparkly stuff that you see, and then the green is a chrysocola.
Okay, and then we're just gonna show the ones, the crystals that were in the desert and that got weathered with the iron and the thing. And is this basically from the same area last time that we talked?
Well, it's from Arizona. It's not from, the other stuff was from Helvetia, which is southeast of Tucson a little bit.
Uh-huh.
These were probably closer to the Phoenix
Say
area.
it again? Okay.
These are onyx from, around Globe, which is a small copper mining town in Arizona.
A town name around the globe.
No, it's Globe, just
Globe,
Globe.
okay.
It's named after a round chunk of silver that they found there once upon a time that looked like a globe.
Oh, I see.
But these are onyx,
Whoa.
and what they are is, coats of different minerals. Some is chalcedony, some is other minerals. But these are neat because if you polish them up, they're hard enough so they can polish and they hold a decent polish.
Oh, they would be beautiful, but I love them rough too. They're super soft still, even though they've got kind of a rough. It's kind of like it's fuzzy, you know?
Yeah, it's a calcium compound. I used to try to clean my rocks with acid.
Right, and then they just
And
dissolve.
if you put these in acid, they actually dissolve the rock.
I've seen a lot of videos of that. That's funny. How do you know off the bat this is onyx?
Well, just because I looked it up in the book.
But what told you it was onyx according to what you see here?
Well, you can see it's layered, and you can see it's not an agate because this is not chalcedony.
Okay.
Agate is comprised of
Because it's
silica.
so soft.
Right.
Chalcedody's super hard, and that's one of
Correct.
the things you know you have chalcedony for, because
Correct.
it's just ridiculously
Yeah.
hard, like an agate is.
And there's a lot of just plain chalcedony out there that isn't
an agate.
lined.
Oh, that
But
isn't lined.
these are agates from Arizona also, and you can see these are lined.
Oh,
That's
so
what makes
much
them an
harder.
agate.
Yeah, I mean, I could not even scratch this if I tried. And the other one, I could
and
almost
these
scratch.
polish up just beautiful. If you
Oh
wanted to
my
make a
goodness.
ring or a bracelet or whatever out of them and cut them and polish them, they just look beautiful.
Well, it looks like I'm going to specialize in raw stuff here. I have a collection from last week that I've gotten a few oohs and ahs, but people, I'm just starting to really attract collectors who know more now, and I made some of my first big sales like that last weekend, actually, which is really fun. This one looks like a mouth. Be really good in your fairy garden to scare away the evil werewolves. Yeah.
Now these are samples from that Helvetia area again. I like to call this electric blue Chrysocola. And it's cool because it contrasts with the other things around it, the quartz and the black, which I believe is tenorite.
Tenorite?
Yeah.
Not goethite?
No.
How do you decide it's tenorite? I just don't know how to look at black rocks like without someone telling me what they are.
I'm guessing.
Okay. But
But
because
they're
of the
kinda cool.
area, you're using your knowledge of where you are when you get these. So no malachite, what about this green?
That might be malachite, yeah.
that looks
Malachite's
kinda
usually a little
malachite.
more greenish rather than the teal or bluer color.
And are these up for polishing? What happens to this?
No, you can't polish that.
polish
It's too
these.
soft. No.
That's what I thought, because someone was saying how much those others would be worth if they polished, and I thought, I think that's a different beast.
Yeah, these are beautiful to look at, but I don't think you could
You would
polish
rub it
them
off.
right. I don't think you would polish them and get them to look very good.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, look at that lovely. See, we've got something in every price range, and what's really fun is to get 3 small ones like this and make a little
Right. I mean, if
triangle
somebody
around
wants-
yourself for
you know,
some
and like
power.
this one combines a little bit of pyrite in there as well.
Ooh.
So you get the gold along with the other things.
Well, pyrite's my kryptonite. I think that's the whole point of life is ore. That's why we're here. Ore.
Here's another example of what happens when something's out in the desert. This is a big terminated quartz crystals. There's a couple of them in there, plus a whole bunch of little ones around it. But because it was exposed to the desert for many, many years, they became coated with iron oxide, and so they look brown instead of
Oh
the clear
my
color which they normally
Gosh,
would be.
I just can't even believe what's happening to me here. As far as learning and understanding. And look at that. Oh, how many points on the crystal? I know this isn't probably your specialty, Wes, but 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1,
Yeah,
2,
they're all
3,
supposedly
4, 5,
exactly
6.
the same configuration all the time, supposedly.
Well, there's 5 pointed ones, and I can show you some examples. And then
Another
that
one with a little bit of
denotes a different
pyrite in it.
function in the meditation world. If it has
Oh, okay.
different, 6 is very common, is the one that you're speaking of as far as. But I've been dragged out of a few stores sitting there like a crazy woman counting the points on the edges, size, and the points of the crystal. All right, sorry.
Here's another one that's covered with quartz crystals, and it has some Chrysocola in it and some quartz. Interesting
So,
little piece.
just from iron staining, not,
Yep.
I get confused sometimes
Iron
about like
oxide.
vandonite or when we get into actual orange pigment, but that's
Yeah,
different.
no, these are regular clear quartz crystals that are stained. Now, you can try to get the stain off of there, and what I found that works best is toilet bowl cleaner, of all things.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to get that stain off. I've tried
Iron
putting
out,
them in.
isn't that it? Iron out?
Yeah, you could try that. It's a little damage on them, but they're pretty much.
Yeah, these can be garden rocks. These can be outdoor rocks.
You know,
for
there's one
your
that's coated with a nice coating of pyrite. Somebody
fireplace
found that might think,
areas.
oh gee, that's gold. No, but it isn't.
It's better than gold. Gold is a distraction. I'm telling you, you attract the wrong kind of attention with gold. We have what they make skyscrapers out of. I don't see any gold skyscrapers. Nice. And so, what about these sparkles here?
Yeah, there's some gold in, or there's some pyrite in
More
there as well.
pyrite, just
Yep.
less of it.
Yep.
And then it has a totally rough. It kind of feels like limestone, but it's not.
Yeah, no, what it is, it's pyrite that filled in cracks in the rock, fissures,
Oh, so it's completely
and
mixed.
it grew in there along with the quartz.
And why is the quartz purple on top? Like a little bit of amethyst?
You know, I can't even tell you what that is. This is another piece of that rock. It's a real nice one. It's got some individual crystals, quartz crystals in it.
Goodness.
And the real bright color, of course, is what sets it out and makes it really attractive.
Again.
Looked like this on the outside, didn't look like much anything, but then when you cracked it open, all of a sudden you have these, the vugs, they call them.
Say it again. Vugs?
Vugs.
V-U-G-S?
Yep, with these quartz crystals in it.
Vugs. New word for me.
And this is hematite that surrounds it there.
Wow, it's really cool looking. Now, just because it's a hole with crystals in it, that's what a vug is.
Right.
When you open it up, and that's different than a geode, which would just cover a whole round thing. This is just sort of asymmetrical holes. So it's an air pocket.
Right. It was an air pocket. That's how agates formed too. Lake Superior agates formed in. What happened is the molten rock came up, and air bubbles were in it. And when the rock cooled, it left an air bubble in it.
Let's flip here because the sun isn't on your face.
And then over time, the
Okay.
air bubble gradually filled in with chalcedony, usually layer after layer after layer, and that's why you get the lined look of the Lake
banding,
Superior agate, the
yeah.
classic lined look of the Lake Superior agates.
And this one just probably didn't make it that far. It could have been an agate.
Well, yeah, this
going,
one
or-
didn't have, these quartz crystals grew in here. What supposedly the experts say Lake Superior agates formed with superheated steam that was forced up from underneath that contained minerals. And silica combined with other minerals to make it different colors, iron or whatever. And that superheated steam would come in and coat the inside of this air bubble. And then maybe 1,000 years later, another batch of steam would be pushed in and it would coat it again. And these things formed over hundreds or thousands of years. You know, they didn't just tap overnight. These quartz crystals actually grew in there. This wasn't steam coming in here to coat this. This was, and a lot of things can create quartz, like water dripping through limestone can create silica, but
Limestone's
these
so
actually
soft.
grew in there rather than being coated like an agate.
I've seen a couple of stories about the fact that crystals like that can grow really rapidly.
If enough of the components that make the crystal are available, they can grow quite rapidly.
They can happen in 18 minutes, I heard,
Well,
is
I'm
the
not sure
shortest
about
that
that.
some, I read an article about it, and
Yeah.
they cited that as what is estimated
All
to be
it
the
needs
quickest.
is the ingredients, almost like a plant would grow. And if you have enough ingredients, it'll just keep building and building and growing. And of course, quartz comes in all kinds of different colors. So that's clear. That one happens to be clear. This is kind of a rose-colored quartz that coated the inside of this rock.
Oh, it's absolutely pink.
That I go all the way through it.
You know, what I want to do is I want to just make, I've done this already, is I make a giant circle out of these and I sit in it for a while. Really puts your head on straight.
So this is one with malachite, hematite, and then of course the quartz crystals that have grown on it. Kind of an interesting piece.
And when you find these, are they loose or do you have to chip them off of something?
Most of the time they're loose, but most of these I have hit with a hammer.
Okay.
To get them exposed.
Yeah.
Because
To
I
crack
find
them a
something
little.
that looks like this.
Yeah.
Well, that's not going to be too impressive. Nobody likes the way that looks.
But
when
you can
crack it
see
open,
stuff is going on with it.
Yeah, when you crack it
more
open,
purple.
the fresh crystals are exposed, and then they're quite attractive.
Unbleached amethyst. Wow, I love these. What's the name for this kind of formation of crystals where you could just break? That's how they break off all those little dollar crystals that I have over there.
There is a name for that.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
This is a bigger one with crystals in it, and some striations that might be considered agatized. This has a little amethyst in it also.
Okay, let me make a little more room on the table. Ooh, a lot of amethyst. Turn that my way. Oh, I see. Because it got faded here.
Right, if you hit that with a hammer, this all would be purple if you crack this open. And this would be purple here.
So if you got half a mind to do a little lapidary banging, we got some raw stuff for you. And if you just like it that these rocks have come to you from the fewest amount of human handling. It went from the Arizona desert to Les, to me, to you. And you know all the characters involved. That's pretty cool.
You know, this is hematite that has some malachite coating on it, basically. Little quartz.
So how do you know that's not Chrysocola and that it's because of the
color.
green?
Yeah. It's a more.
You'd have a little bit of blue in it, and there is some nice rust spots. Quartz overall. Ooh. This is gonna go in someone's bathroom. It's gonna be really, really nice to dry your hair next to this puppy. Oh, you know, razzle dazzle if you need something to decorate a wedding table. That's what I'd say. That's a wedding rock right there.
Or somebody's golden wedding anniversary.
Right. It's just fabulous, magnetic goodness. Plus, you could hit someone over the head with it. It's just a fabulous palm
Yeah, I don't
piece.
recommend that.
Well, you know, you got to use what you got to use.
This is interesting because this is a different mineral here.
The regular.
I believe the black is calcite.
Okay.
And I believe the white,
Feels soft.
yeah, is.
Are we talking like a zeolite thing, like a mineral?
Yeah, it's a mineral. Fluorite.
The white is fluorite?
Yeah, that's my guess. Don't quote me on it.
Yeah.
But I believe that's what that is.
It's
It's
talk
massive
about-
fluorite.
Well, fluorite would have more squares, and so you
Well,
can kind of
there's
see this
fluorite.
cubic.
There's cubic fluorite, which that is not.
Oh.
Because otherwise it would have little cubes.
Yeah.
But there's also massive fluorite, which comes in big chunks, not in little cubes.
I see.
So that's my guess about what that is, and I'm not going to guarantee it.
So
And the
this
same
would
with-
be massive fluorite
And
in.
the same with this. This is massive greenish colored fluorite
Oh
here, I
my
believe.
goodness. Oh. I see. So there isn't. It kind of looks like the cubes are in there and they got filled in somehow. As far as the look of it. It's still the cracks in it still make triangles and squares, which would be the main hint that it's fluorite.
I'm a sucker for the electric blue, so I've got a lot of electric blue stuff.
Well, you know what it means. Les, you know what it means.
No, I don't know.
It means you have a really big heart.
Okay.
No doubt about it. This
There's-
is ultimate heart rock.
There's another one that you find out in the desert, and you say, well, that's kind of interesting, but no big deal. And you open it up, and it was at one time all purple, and now just the inside is purple.
Yeah.
This is another really attractive one. Some pyrite or chalcopyrite, one of the two in it.
But
as well as
the
the beautiful dark and the blue and everything.
hematite on the black?
No, that's, I think, tenorite.
Tenorite. That's
Yeah.
the word I've got to remember from this session. Tenorite. We're going to look it up after this.
I think the brown is also tenorite.
Wow.
They're very unusual. Would be worth a lot of money.
Right. Well, we're agates. We're just so spoiled around here. We don't realize that everybody doesn't have agates the way we do. But what do you have to say about the top part of this here?
Well, the way this formed, I think it was sitting like this in a seam, and water percolated down from above, carrying with it minerals, and then it kind of dripped off the bottom.
Oh.
It might even have been at this angle, so it was dripping off the bottom, and it formed additional little chunks of silica there.
So
I'm guessing
the
that's how
water
it was
literally pulled it down.
Yeah, you can see it drip. It was like kind of like a stalagmite or stalactite. It was dripping off of there.
Right.
And every drip had a little tiny bit of silica in it and deposited it there, and that's why you've got this rough side here. That'd be my take on it, and I'm pretty sure I'm right about that.
Necklace for a little kid in your life or anything?
Oh,
All right. Well, I'll tally it up
Good
and
luck.
say bye.
All